She is so insecure. Have you heard that before? Have you said that about somebody before? On today's video, we're going to talk about insecurity. I was praying and I said, God, what do you want me to talk about today? God just kind of took me back and reminded me of how insecure I was. I spent 50% of my life, the first half of my life, being insecure. I was so insecure that I was so concerned about what others think of me or what other people say about me, and it would consume me, and I just was never good enough. You don't have to stay there, that there is freedom for you, that we can live in freedom. We can be set free from toxic cycles, and that also we can build a legacy for our children, for our children's children, and all the generations to come. Insecurity came in because of my father's death and my mom leaving me when I was 11. So at 5 years of age, my dad was murdered, and my mom and I moved back to her hometown where she grew up. My grandmother took care of us. I just remember the loss of my father didn't really hit me until about 9 years of age. I was watching my cousins being fed by my uncle. And then just all of a sudden it hit me I wasn't jealous, but I just felt the sting in my heart. Like the fact that will never happen to me. That my dad is gone. My dad is no longer here physically on earth, that my dad will not come back to make me a snack. My dad will not come back to attend my school programs, or my dad is not going to be there to provide for me. And so I just remember that hurting and feeling incomplete at that time. My grandfather actually kind of became the father figure that was there to just, that kind of gave me that fatherly love. But that didn't last either, because my grandfather had his own issues to deal with. He was an alcoholic, and he eventually passed away from cirrhosis of the liver when I was 10 years old. And then at 11 years of age, my mom left the country so that she could provide for us, that she could send me to school. In the Philippines, back then, if you did not have education, people left the country to work, because that's kind of like how you make decent money. Now, knowing what I know now, and that's why it's so important for us to have a relationship with God, to know God's character, to know the Bible, to have a relationship with this living God, because He directs you. If you have a relationship with God, you would not go where the crowd is going. You would not follow the trends. You would inquire of the Lord and say, God, I know that you are a God of family, that you are a God of covenant. You don't want your children to suffer. You don't want your children to be separated from their parents. Provide for me, God. What can I do here? And the sad thing is, at that time, my mom, my grandma, everyone knew that there was a God. They would just like me. I prayed to God. I knew that there was a God that was in heaven, and He was so far away. And I was just hoping that my prayers would be heard by Him. And nobody had a relationship with Jesus. Nobody understood the truth. And so I share that with you because life now is so different. I just wish, don't live your life without the Lord. Don't live your life without walking and be in communion with Him, because your life will be so much better. I can't even imagine what my life would have been if my mom would have been a Christian then, And I know that God, though, turns things around for good, for your own good, for the good of the ones who love Him. And so that's kind of where the insecurity came, just from the, not having parents. Also, just not having support. When you have parents that are there, not only their presence or their presence is there. They support you with their words, with their guidance, their direction, with their discipline. They're there to support you, to lift you up. My grandmother, like, she was so oppressed that she was not careful with her words. She was so verbally abusive, and there was no words of encouragement that came from her mouth. Like, there was no proper guidance, or there was really no there was really no hope that she spoke, because she was so oppressed, because, she had to become really the breadwinner. My grandfather was a kind man, but he was a womanizer. He stopped providing for her and, the family. My grandma had to take over. So the bitterness really just that came from that just really poisoned her. Her heart was so bitter that all that spewed out of her mouth was negativity, was to tear down. And unfortunately, she took a lot of that on me. So yeah, just the lack of support. You just feel so unstable. You are alone and you don't have financial support. So then there's another just restrictions. I can't afford to buy this. I can't afford to join this because of the financial situation. Or I don't have someone to cheer me on, or just why are you joining that? You're going to do badminton? You can't even run. You're too chubby. Just those things. Just so there was just not any words of encouragement. There was no guidance or just proper direction. It was just all about, it was just survival mode all the time. Then, of course, there's that lack of love. That really was big, because naturally parents love their kids, right? I had not felt genuine love until I had kids. You just have this natural love for your children, and you want the best for them, and you will do everything to protect them, to make sure that you're together and you're guiding them in the way that they should go. And you just want the best for your children. And as parents, you know this. And can you imagine your children not having love because you're not there? And whether that's through touch or through words, and just to care and to just love you when you feel like you're just being rejected, or you got to behave a certain way to even just be accepted, you just are invisible. You just hide. You just feel like you don't exist. You just shut down. You don't understand the world. You don't understand yourself. You don't understand your situation. On the other side of it, I just always would feel this hope that someday my life would change. I just always knew it. And I know that it was God that's speaking to me. And, for people that say that God doesn't speak, He speaks. Because even when I didn't know Him, when I didn't have a personal relationship with Him, there was this thought that everything was going to be okay, that my life will change, that I will have a good future. And then there's Jeremiah 29:11, that God says, I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. The plans to prosper you and not to harm you, and the plans to give you a hope and a good future. I just love that verse, and I keep repeating that verse over and over again, because really that's what He spoke to me, even when I did not know Him. Unfortunately, we have our sinful nature, but if we gravitate towards that positive thought, that positive seed that He's planting in us, lean into that, because that will sustain you. Another is lack of safety. I just did not feel safe. The sad truth is, where I was from, it's just people would stand up for the side of people who have stability in their life, even though it's their fault. It's just crazy. And that's just how the enemy works, all right? And I think that's, as Christian, we have to stand up for people who cannot stand up for themselves. People who don't have a voice. Like, we got to be the voice for people who don't have a voice. Like, I just wish I had a dad that could protect me or that could make me feel safe. All these things that manifested in my life, whether that's the loss of parents or whether that's the loss of my dad, lack of support, lack of love, lack of safety. I just know that God is all those things to me. That God is my dad. He says in the Bible, I am a father to the fatherless. I will be with you. I am here for you. Like, my loving kindness will chase you. I have fearfully and wonderfully made you. Like, God has always been there over and over again, time and time again. I am the one you need. I am the present help in time of your need. He is our support. He is our provider. He is our rock. He is the one who saves. He saves us physically, and he also saves us spiritually. And when you don't feel loved, he is love. He created us. He knows us. He calls you by name. Like, love is just not a feeling. It's a choice. God has chosen us over and over again, even though we sin, even though I've disappointed him so many times, even though I've hurt others, or I've said things to him. But time and time again, he has kept on showing up. He has chosen to show up for me, to love me, to meet me where I am. And I just want to tell you that he will do the same for you. That his unconditional love has been chasing you, has been after you for a long time. And you just need to pay attention to it. If you don't feel safe because of what's happened to you, the trauma that you've gone through that has caused you to feel unsafe, well, he is our safety. He is our rock. He is like our strong tower. And I just love how David was so confident in the Lord. You are my strong tower. You are my rock. You are my protector. Like, I will abide in you. You protect me from my enemies. David did not say, I come to you in the name of my father Jesse. Who are you? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he would defy the armies of the Lord? David put his trust in the Lord. I just remember there was this girl from church. She just came to me and she just asked me, she said, May, why are you so confident? Like, she asked me like genuinely, and not like confident in a way that's like kind of arrogant. Like, no, like she just could tell, like, how did you become so confident? And I just told her, because, I was almost shocked when she asked me that, because I didn't really realize how much freedom I have gained. I am free. Like, I am no longer insecure. Like, I don't want to hide anymore. I just know that as long as I'm walking with the Lord, as long as I'm walking uprightly, I have nothing to worry about. That God is my God. God is the one that will open the door for me. God is the one that will make my path straight. That the only one I need to worry about is God. And as long as I'm doing his will, as long as I'm obeying his commands, and that's all that matters. I'm not going to be worried about what other people think of me anymore. Who cares? Like, what people think of me. Who cares what people say about me? In a couple weeks, they're all going to forget anyway. So just move on. And so I pray the same thing for you. I want you to have freedom. I want you to build legacy. I know who I am in Christ. I know who God is. My God is alive. My God is well. My God knows me. My God is in charge of my life. And he says that he will give me good future. He will give me hope. And so, like, I just impart that to your life. I just impart that to you, that you will have confidence in him. Not self-confidence, but confidence in the one true God. Just like David said, I come to you in the name of the Lord. So let's live this life in the name of the Lord. Be confident in Him. Live free. Let Him set you free. Accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. And live a life worthy of your calling.